Why do you do what you do? What drives you to do what you do? You know what you do on a daily basis and you know how you do it. You can rewind, backtrack, and figure all that out. But do you really understand why you do things at the core, the fundamental, something that can't be messed with? It just is, and it's the deepest core in here, and it blossoms everything else. Do you know your why? Because I don't. That's why I'm making this video. I have no idea what it is. There's been several junctures in my life where I sat down to figure out what this is, how to get it. I've tried different techniques, different methods. Mostly just putting pen to paper and seeing what those are. And for some reason, it's very difficult for me to decide what those specific values are that, I want my business, my life to revolve around. Things that I'm not willing to compromise on. And sometimes I think the problem for me is it all seems so generic. It seems like, oh, why wouldn't anyone want to have this value, right? Like one of my big things is rectitude, which means the morally right way of thinking, doing the right thing. Much easier said than done, but definitely a value that is just wow. You look at it and you're like, wow, I want that value in my business. How do I personalize it? How do I make it? How do I own it? How do I make it mine? I guess these are all questions I don't have answers to, and maybe ones I don't need them to, and just need to do it. One exercise I've tried in the past is Dean Graziosi recommended this one. It's 7-level deep why. I might have messed up the order of that. But the idea of that one is, ask yourself a question like, why is it important for me to come up with my why? And then you answer, because, what and how it is not satisfactory to me. Then you ask yourself why again. Why is what and how not satisfactory to you? Well, because I want everything I do to have deeper meaning. Why do you want to have a deeper meaning with everything you do? And you keep that chain of events going 7 times. Apparently 7 is the magic number. When you hit 7, you'll have that aha moment and you'll figure out exactly your core, your main why, your bottom truth that you can't, it is your fundamental truth. I've done the exercise a few times. I'm not saying that I didn't get valuable insights from them and learned a lot about myself from them and thought about stuff in different ways that I hadn't before, which was helpful. But I didn't have that aha moment. Again, this might be the byproduct of me thinking, this why is an absolute thing. It's almost like you can't change it. And part of me feels that that's probably not how this works. That's a ever evolving thing. Your why, life happens, things happen, constantly changing, constantly. You're constantly changing. So if you're not adapting your why, it's not like you change it every 10 minutes. I don't think that is feasible either. I'm talking maybe every 10 years is the idea I'm getting here, Again, let's stop for a second. Why are we making this video? We're making this video because I have no clue what's going on. I've tried a bunch of times putting pen to paper and nothing comes out, which I truly am ecstatic about. So this is the first time I'm vocalizing it, verbalizing it, videoizing it. Love inventing new words on this channel. As always, I appreciate you being there with me, allowing to do this, allowing to suffer, allowing to fail through it. And it's just, in this day and age, especially the last 10 years where everything's online, at least the way I consume information, I just feel like everybody is an expert, bro. Everybody is an expert at what they do. And if they figured it something out and they're confident about it, they can come on the video and just articulate, and like they're a friggin' magician and a beautiful speaker like Tony Robbins and talented like Michael Jordan. It's crazy. Like, man, makes me feel like, all I'm doing all day long is struggling without any talents. Something tells me this is not the other case and that many people feel the same way. Now, what does this have to do with my why? Well, this is a big part of my why. It's kind of getting to be very frustrating now, how everything feels so inauthentic, so forced, so, oh, I'm an expert, look at me. I almost trust the non-expert, the person who's constantly willing to communicate their flaws. Ooh, I like that. Constantly, continuously willing to accept and be upfront and communicate your flaws. I think that's important to me because I've always had this notion where I need to overcompensate my weaknesses, my vulnerabilities, either hide them up or push them aside or repress them. Just do whatever I can to not accept them and pretend they're not a part of reality. Whatever it may be. Maybe, for a while I know it was me being overweight and my body image on that. Or, sometimes I'm not the fastest. I'm a slow walker. Sometimes I'm a slow thinker. And, in this day and age, people want you to move. They want you to quicken up all the time. Like, damn, bro, let's take a chill pill. So I think that, because what I'm trying to do here with my why, right, is, it's funny, I'm just trying to right now create my About Me page on my website, right? It's like, how'd you get into your why? Well, I wanted to do it right. I wanted everything to be uniform. I want my logo, I want my brand, I want my business, I want what I talk about, I want what I think about to all be uniform, to all follow the same pattern. Because ultimately what I want to do with people who view me, my business, and my website, I want them to trust me. I want them to give me an opportunity to earn their business. Maybe I haven't done business with them yet, but I want to show them I'm willing to do my hardest. And not just tell them that, right? I understand this is a really competitive world and everybody wants to say that they're the best and they're going to do their best. And I've been there before, and I've also been where I didn't follow through. I did not follow through. I did not live up to my word. I don't regret it because I had my reasons. I had my excuses, my rationalizations. At the end of the day, I didn't do it. And a good friend of mine reminded me that trust is equivalent to predictability. So if I'm going to say that I'm going to do something and I don't do it, that's not predictable. The only thing that's predictable is doing something I'm going to say I'm going to do. As a human being, that's basically the essence of predictability. And then if you can predict what I'm going to do, only then can you trust. Because you need me to do something. How do you know? How can you have that security within that I'm going to do it if I'm predictable. So it's this constant cycle of showing, you do what you say you do and following through and just being consistent with it, never letting up, because someone that is depending on you, the last thing they would want is for you to let up. So I want to build that trust. I want to build that predictability. And I want to do it in an honest way. A almost like a really over the top, not over the top, but just like hyper honest, bro, right? Like I will always in our relationship let you know what I'm not good at, what I'm bad at, what I've messed up. Because again, that ways you know exactly where I'm coming from. When we're problem solving, you know what I'm working with, what you're working with, exactly what we're working with, the way life, the way reality tells us it is. And you might be thinking, dude, you don't need to tell them all the truth. You don't need to do this. You don't need to do that. Sure, I don't need to do it. But what is my end goal here? What is my ultimate thing? I want that trust. I want that predictability. And my thinking is they can better predict what I'm going to do if they know exactly who I am. Can trust everything I say. And you can only trust everything I say if you know that I'm going to tell you the bad stuff too. Because that's what I don't like about the online gurus. They are almost never willing to talk about, the exact struggles that they've gone through. And they make it seem like everything in their life right now is picture perfect. They're multimillionaires with successful businesses and wives and this and that. But what are their struggles right now? Maybe if they were more transparent, upfront with that in the ad copy or whatever, I might be like, damn, this is the real deal. It's funny because they're experts, but they haven't gone. I mean, they're experts in the fact that they've taken action, and their copy is they've paid and they've put in the work to have me view their stuff. Cheers, hats off to them. My feedback is, you've barely separated yourself. I mean, definitely a few have. You can tell from the comments that people have found value in either the books or the services or products they created and provided. And, that stuff ends up selling themselves. But what about someone like me who, doesn't necessarily have that product out there yet, or that business that's a well-oiled machine yet? I don't have that yet. I do not. Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to make this a 35-minute video. It's almost 15 minutes. What I'm going to do, though, is leave us with, in terms of my why, what am I going to leave here with? That's most me. It probably felt like I was ranting the last 4 or 5 minutes, but to be honest, I'm sure you could feel the pain or passion I have about all this stuff. And it's just funny how since maybe second grade, I've always heard honesty is the best policy. And it just seems so apparent and so easy to say that, well, honesty is an easy thing to do. Just tell the truth. The truth has become so convoluted. It's so confusing sometimes because I think as a society we've gotten very good at embellishing the truth, hiding the little parts of the truth that sting the most. That's what we do, you know? So it's going to be some sort of combination of honesty, predictability, and trust that I'm going to have to work on. Thank you guys. I think a lot was learned today about my why.